What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be covering more championship score predictions. We've made it to week 41 unbelievably. Same procedures as normal guys, all you need to do is comment your score predictions in the comments down below to get involved in the Let's Football Prediction League, which is really nearly entering its conclusion. I've posted an update yesterday and oh my goodness me, it is such a tight contest and any game week could really have a new leader, as you will see in the latest update. So I do encourage you just to have a bit of fun, to leave your predictions in the comments, and who knows, maybe you might win a prize in the end of it as well. I'm going to be trying to predict the next 12 games, and honestly, games are running out for the relegation to try and get survival. Games are running out for teams getting top 6, and of course, for the promotion part of it, there's not many games left now. So it is really going to be exciting all the way, and I cannot wait to get started. If you guys like what you see, please smash that like button. It really helps. 50 likes is a target. That'll be a terrific achievement if we can get it. Please do hit the subscribe button too. That'll be really helpful too. And please also share the channel too. 3 of these things are free to do and they really help. But without any further ado, let's start trying to predict this weekend's games. We start off with Rotherham going up against Plymouth Argyle. Rotherham picked up a rare win last game actually. It was only their 4th win in the season after 40 games, which is a 10% win rate percentage of this season, which is very, very poor. And whilst I will give Rotherham credit for picking up that win, it did feel like a win that was only delaying the inevitable, sadly. And the fact that teams around them still were picking up points when they won that one just really made it all for the worse for them. But fair play to them. They would have been relegated by now had they not beaten Mill. And the fact that they did, they are still fighting still at this stage of the season. They're facing a Plymouth side where right now they are in a more perilous position now. This game is really, really going to be important for them because they're sitting 21st place, only 1 point clear of the bottom 3. They have had 5 consecutive home defeats, which has led them to dismiss Ian Foster maybe a little bit late, but a very interesting approach. I was thinking that they were going to get a manager to the end of the season, but actually no, the director of football, Neil Doomship, is actually going to be the man sort of leading Plymouth right to the end of this season, which does interest me a little bit why they may have not gone for a new manager, maybe just down to the money that it's going to take to try and hire someone in, and considering a very short turnaround on appointing and then dismissing Foster. So it has been a bit of a disaster appointment, sadly, for them. But now they've changed managers, I think we could see a small step up with this Plymouth side. They've not won many on the road this season, but I think this could be a good opportunity for them. And if they do win this game, they could extend a pretty healthy gap between them and the bottom 3 with 5 games left. As a prediction, I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory to Plymouth, expecting a little bit of a reaction based on their last couple of performances, and especially with new managers now. So I'm going to go 2-1 Plymouth, and let me know what you think in the comments down below, and this will officially relegate Rotherham down to League 1. Next game to predict is the East Anglia derby, Norwich Ipswich. This game, honestly, it's already been mentioned in the workplace a little bit, and it's safe to say Ipswich are making me very, very nervous this season. If you weren't there at my last stream, I've spilled the beans on what has been going on. So I made a deal, or a bet you can call it, that if Ipswich somehow win the league, and this, bear in mind, was in New Year's Day when Leicester was 17 points clear, I said if Ipswich win the league, I will shave my hair. And I think I'll be kind enough to raise money for charity doing this as well and make it into like a really, really big thing. But right now they are top of the league with only 6 games left to play of the season, and it's safe to say certain members of the office are very, very excited about that. I'm looking at you, Jacob, especially. But anyway, it really is making me a little bit on edge with it, but in the back of my mind, I think this game is going to be Ipswich's biggest test. If they can somehow beat Norwich here, where they already have a very dismal record against Norwich in this derby, they will feel like a team that just deserve to go up in the end. But Norwich are going into this game after losing against Leicester, but still presented with a massive opportunity. they've already got a 4-point gap from the rest of the top 6, and they can extend it here with a brilliant result. But not only by doing that, their motivation will be largened by disrupting Ipswich's potential promotion as well. So Norwich, I think, will be really going for this game, and I almost felt like that their minds were already drawn towards the Ipswich game a little bit more than the Leicester one. So I do see Norwich being at their best here, and it's just going to be a question to see if Ipswich can handle it. And as a prediction, I'm actually going to go maybe for a shock. I'm going to go for a Norwich win. And Ipswich have only lost 5 games this season, so I'm aware that, Ipswich don't lose many games. But I just have a feeling Norwich is going to be a tough one. They may not have Jonathan Rose still, but I think even without him, they've got the quality to hurt this Ipswich side. And I'm going to go for a 3-1 home victory to Norwich. I mean, I'm a negative jinx a lot of the time. When I predict Ipswich to win, typically it's the reverse effect. So maybe we can get the reverse effect here. I don't know, but I think it's going to be a 3-1 win to Norwich. And I just have a very sneaky feeling they may bring their A game here. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Cardiff versus Hull. So this game I think is quite intriguing. It's a mid-table battle between 11th and 10th. I really do feel Hull have fallen away quite a bit. Their form has dropped at the very, very worst time. They've now got a pretty impossible job, really. They've got to try and close down a 6-point gap to get into the top 6. I was definitely giving them some good sense of encouragement when I was covering them in my top 6 video, but now that they've gone on this win this one, and considering the transfers they brought in, it's been a very disappointing end of the season as of yet. Cardiff, they've not really got that much to play for. I don't think they'll do enough to get top 6. They're definitely not going down, so I think that takes the pressure off Cardiff a little bit, but it could also mean that their intensity may not be as high as it could be as well. A prediction here, honestly, is really difficult. Hull really need to go for this game to have any sort of opportunity now going into the top 6. If they don't win here, I think it's curtains. And I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Cardiff actually might be better than people may think going into this game, with the fact that they don't have a lot of pressure. The thing is, Hull, they've got all the pressure, and it's just a question whether they handle it. And personally, I see this game ending as a draw. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Coventry versus Leeds. Now, this is huge. Norwich play before Coventry, of course, and if they pick up a really good result here against Ipswich, they'll be in a very, very ideal situation where they'll have a 7-point gap. So the fact that Coventry have got to face Leeds United, it's really going to be a huge amount of pressure for Coventry. I do consider this being a huge week within the top 6, especially considering the games that Norwich and Coventry both got to play. Coventry will want a response from their defeat against Cardiff. Liam Kitchen, I think, would definitely be wanting to put right the wrongs that he put in that last game there. Leeds weren't at their 5-star best against Hull, but they still did enough to win very, very comfortably. And I think now we're getting to the stage where Leeds don't even need to play like in 3rd gear, and they can still just outdo many teams. The quality that Somerville especially has in that team is insane. As a prediction here, I think it's going to be close because Coventry have already picked up really good results this season. They've beaten Leicester, of course. So I really do think that they can pose a threat. But I think it's going to be a 2-1 away victory to Leeds. I think they've got the quality just to outdo them there. But a Coventry result would not surprise me either. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Blackburn versus Southampton. So you feel now for Blackburn, for the fact that they won emphatically, not just one, but they won emphatically 5-1 against Sunderland. You've got to feel now that they are safe from the drop. They're on 45 points, which mathematically doesn't sound safe because they're still only 4 points clear of Huddersfield. But I think definitely with the performances that they're churning in, and especially a good result here, you surely got to think that Blackburn will be safe by now. Now, the thing is about Southampton, they are going into this game probably feeling a little bit dejected. It was a really bad way for Southampton to lose against Ipswich in the 97th minute. Even a point probably wouldn't have been enough anyway, but to lose all 3 within that last kick of the game, it does take, a lot out of a side. And I think Southampton now, if they're settling for playoffs, one thing you've got to be very careful with them is that they don't drop their performance levels, because the teams that don't typically do well in the playoffs are the ones that don't really necessarily have a strong run of form leading to the end of the season. So I think Southampton still got to try and churn in the performances, but I do think it's going to be harder for them to stay that motivated, considering I feel promotion is out of reach. I mean, they're 11 points behind third place Leicester. It's going to be really difficult for them now. As a prediction, I actually can see Blackburn getting a result. I think we could see Smolnik's on the score sheet. He's in really great form at the moment. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, actually. I can actually see Blackburn getting something there. They've improved as of late. Defensively, they look much stronger as well. Southampton may lower their levels, knowing they've never got much to play for now. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Huddersfield versus Millwall. Now, this is a massive game for Huddersfield, because looking at their run-in, they've got some nice games in there at home, but they've also got some really tough games coming up as well. And these are the sorts of games that Huddersfield right now need to be picking up all points in at this moment of time. They only need to get 1 point better than Plymouth, get what they get in their result to get out of the bottom three. But Millwall won't be easy. Millwall, of course, as to reiterate, have improved their form since Neil Harris has come in. They've given themselves a good breathing space from the bottom three by 4 points currently. But Huddersfield win this game, they'll only be 1 point behind Millwall, and that does automatically drag them back into it. So it shows you the different twists and turns that this bottom three could give you this year. So I'm really intrigued to see the outcome of this. And as a prediction, I'm actually thinking a draw here, because I can see Huddersfield probably doing more of the attacking, but I think Millwall are going to be very, very dangerous on the counter-attack, and I think Huddersfield will be susceptible to that sort of attack and probably won't defend it well as well. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think both sides will be able to get 1 goal past each other, but it's a pretty unhelpful result, especially for Huddersfield Town, who they really need to pick up 3 points ASAP. Because the longer they stay in the bottom three, you know, the more likely that they will stay within it and get relegated. So I'm going to go for a draw, which will be a very unhelpful result. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Leicester versus Birmingham. Now, Leicester are still applying a bit of catch-up with Leeds and Ipswich, considering that all 3 of them won in their last game week. But right now, you can't afford to drop any points. Birmingham have now given themselves a tiny bit of breathing space from the bottom 3 after picking up their last win against Preston. A brilliant result in the end, and they could have actually extended their lead if, you know, the last kick of the game actually just had that tiny bit more quality going on target there as well. So great performance by Birmingham, and definitely the impact of playing at St Andrews is going to have a massive impact on Birmingham staying up. Their away form a little bit more touch and go, whether they're going to deliver that same impetus. Leicester, they return to winning ways at the King Power against a good Norwich side as well. So I do see Leicester's home form being a big factor of them that they could potentially still get promoted. I think here Leicester should be in the key word. Look at this game for being a comfortable win. And I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory. I think it's going to be that. Who knows what can happen? You know, there's been so many weird and wacky events that have really turned games. I wouldn't back anything at this point. So I'm going to go 2-0, but who knows? Maybe we'll see something spectacular there. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Middlesbrough versus Swansea. Middlesbrough have really improved their form as of late, haven't they? They've gone on an unbeaten run at the moment, 3 wins in their last 5 games. And because of that, they are now slowly but surely looking up that they are looking way more likely than Hull going into the top 6. Now, again, it's going to be quite difficult for them to do so because they've got a 6-point gap to breach at this moment of time. Swansea are in a position where they're in the mid-table. They're not really got that much to play for now, to be quite honest. So, again, you know, does that mean the intensity will lower a little bit? Does that mean that Swansea will not be as sharp as they need to be because they don't need to pick up the points now? As a prediction, I'm going to go for a Middlesbrough win. Now, I've been very impressed with their clean sheet record. They've kept 4 clean sheets in their last 5 games. But I'm actually going to go for Swansea to score here because I do think Swansea's attacking quality is actually quite strong. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Middlesbrough. But I think that win is going to make things really interesting within the top 6 race. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is QPR versus Sheffield Wednesday. Now, this is a massive game. this game a couple of weeks ago would have been seen as, you know, the position that Plymouth are in currently, you know, within just narrowly behind or ahead, I should say, from the bottom three. But QPR are one of two sides to win both Easter weekend games. Them and Ipswich are the only two teams to have won two Easter fixtures in a row. And because of that, because of those 6 points, QPR are on 46 points and now are looking so comfortable now from the drop. It's insane. Sheffield Wednesday has done a brilliant job here. And Sheffield Wednesday would be hoping that they can have the same fortune. But unfortunately, they've had 3 defeats in 4, which has languished them from 2 points of safety. So still, you know, a win can make all the difference here. But Sheffield Wednesday's away record has been pretty dismal as of late. And I honestly see this QPR uprising form continuing on. I think there's a feel-good factor around them at the moment. And I think that will carry on to this game. As a prediction, I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory to QPR. Feeling a little bit more confident, and they will just feel just more up for it. They'll feel more confident. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Sunderland versus Bristol City. Sunderland really don't have that much to play for, but right now it's been very, very poor as of late. Only 4 points picked up in their last 5. A 5-1 battering against Blackburn Rovers, and it really could have even been more than the 5 that Blackburn scored in the end. It was truly a dismal, embarrassing performance by Sunderland. So they've really got to try and step up their game and to actually put some pride playing in the Stadium of Light. But they're facing a Bristol City side where it's not been often, but they've actually won back-to-back games this season. And actually, it's 3 wins in their last 4 matches for Bristol City. Now, likewise with that cluster of teams in the middle part of the table, I don't think Bristol City will do enough to get into the top 6 at this stage. But they're certainly not going down as well. So I don't think they've got that much to play for. So the fact that Bristol City are still picking up wins, they're clearly wanting to try and end the season well. And I think that might edge them here against the Sunderland side, where I think they've almost given up, unfortunately. So again, I'm going to go for Sunderland defeat, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 Bristol City win. And I think that's going to be really making the table look really, really nice for Bristol City as well. So I'm going to go 3-1 to the wayside. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Stoke versus West Brom. Stoke have been picking up some pretty good form as of late. They've picked up 7 points in their last 4 games, which has seen them on 45 points, getting them a 5-point gap from Huddersfield. So they are looking a little bit more safe now. But obviously, if they do have a couple of games where they don't win a game, and you see the likes of Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday, Plymouth picking up wins now, then automatically the danger's now set back onto them. So they definitely can't keep their eye off the ball, no pun intended. With them being in 18th place, they've still got, I think, in my opinion, need 1 win just to give them a little bit of eased nerves. West Brom are going into this game looking pretty almost dead set certain to be within the top 6, dare I say. They're currently on 68 points at it stands, which is an 8-point gap from Coventry, albeit it could be 5 if Coventry win their game in hand against Hull. But having said that, I've seen enough performances for me that I think West Brom will just have that quality to get them in there. Even when they were behind against Watford by 2-0, to have that mentality to come back from 2-0 down to still equalise, I do think that mentality is going to be a major factor that carries this West Brom side within the top 6. So I do think West Brom will bring it here. Stoke will not make it easy for them. I think they have been proven to be a difficult team to beat recently. But I'm going to go for a very low scoring game. I'm not going to go for a 1-0 away victory to West Brom. I'm a little bit more confident with their chances of winning. But I do think we're going to get a vibe of it being a low scoring game. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Final game, guys, is Watford versus Preston. So this game to me is quite interesting, I find. Watford have really improved their form. They've managed to pick up 5 points in their last 3 games since Tom Cleverley has taken over as interim manager. And I've got to say, I've been really impressed by both of their performances. Chipping in many goals. Maybe defensively a little bit susceptible still. But I'm really, really impressed, especially with their work rate and how they generate chances. They're facing a Preston side where they had a bit of a wobble. But likewise with Coventry, you know, the only team it benefits really is Norwich. You know, because they're still within the top 6. And you had both Norwich, Coventry and Preston losing their games. So no team really took advantage last game week with the games that they had, and Preston to lose in the way that they did against Birmingham, where didn't really, trouble Birmingham too much in my opinion. So I think going into this game, the pressure is certainly on them. They've got definitely a tougher opposition than Watford, considering how well they've been playing. And as a prediction here, I feel like Preston may underestimate Watford. And I think Watford will be able to go into this game with a lot of confidence based on their performance. And I think they can pick up 3 points here. I seriously do think they can do that. Prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 Watford. Why not? I think not everyone's going to be predicting a Watford win. But based on what I've seen in recent performances for both of these sides, I have more faith in Watford. So I'm going to go 2-1 Watford. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. So guys, these are my predictions done for the Championship for week 41. Again guys, make sure you comment your predictions in the comments down below so you guys can get involved in the Let's Leicester Football Prediction League. So now wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really is appreciative if you can hit the like button. It really helps to grow this channel. Please hit the subscribe button too. It really helps as well. And please share the channel too. All 3 of these things are free to do and they really help. That'll be it guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you're studying this video. And as always, I'll see you guys soon. Take care everyone.